If you haven't gotten to where you want to be, you're just not there yet. You're just not done yet. You got to keep going. Take it one day at a time, one meal at a time. You got this. Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to Plant Fit Meg. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I hope you'll take a look around at some other videos. I'll leave some playlists up here and some videos in the description box you can check out. I make videos about weight loss, fitness, plant-based recipes, and a few grocery hauls and family fun thrown in just for fun. Today I want to talk about weight loss mindset, and I think this is something that is very overlooked when it comes to weight loss. Oftentimes when you're looking for ways to lose weight or looking for a weight loss plan or a meal plan or something like that, we tend to just sort of dive into the what to do, which makes sense. We want to find something that we can follow, some kind of plan or some kind of protocol or something like that where we can know what to do. But I find that a lot of people know some, at least, of what to do to lose weight, but have a hard time implementing it. And I think a big part of that is having a weight loss mindset. The first place to start, I would say, is asking yourself why you want to lose weight. So sometimes I'll speak for myself. So in the past, when I have wanted to lose weight and I have focused only on my looks and just focused on, okay, I want to be, comfortable in a swimsuit for this vacation that I have coming up, I would be able to lose weight, and I would lose weight for that goal, for that destination. But then I would just slip into old patterns and old habits such that I would not maintain the weight loss. I would actually gain all the weight back, and I would gain more than I started with. So I think it can be very useful to consider why you want to lose the weight. Not to say that looking a certain way and, being thinner and looking good in a swimsuit, that's not a bad goal. But I would encourage you to try to dig a little deeper and see if there are other reasons, more compelling reasons, to really change your lifestyle such that you can lose weight and maintain it. Because if you lose the weight and you continuously gain it back and you're just yo-yoing back and forth, that's not going to feel very good. At least it didn't when I was going through that. If you want to see more about some of my weight loss journey and weight loss history and mistakes I've made, I'll link a video here about weight loss mistakes I made and then what I did to sort of turn things around and get myself on a good path. Building new habits and building new routines can take time, and I was in certain patterns. I'll speak for myself because I find if I try to overgeneralize for everyone, it won't necessarily apply. But if I can speak from my experience and from my training as a healthy weight loss coach and as someone who's completed a plant-based nutrition certificate, I'm hoping that can be helpful for you guys. So oftentimes in the past, when I would start a new diet or a new sort of plan, I would focus specifically on that diet and that time frame, but I wouldn't really be building new routines. I encourage you to start small, make small changes that seem relatively simple to make, and progress from there. And as you build on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, you build more confidence, you build more momentum, and things start to feel a lot easier over time. And those things that you implement start to be habits and start to be just part of your daily routine and your daily lifestyle, so that you don't even have to really think about it too much anymore. Weight loss takes time. You need a certain amount of patience to do it in a healthy and sustainable way. You didn't gain the weight overnight. You're not going to lose the weight overnight, but it is definitely worthwhile to be patient and stick with it, and you'll get there. Because it's a process and it's a journey and it takes some time, I also highly recommend being kind to yourself in the process. So beating yourself up as you go through your weight loss journey is not going to help you. It's just going to hinder you. So it'll just make you feel bad, and it won't actually allow you to progress or allow you to get anywhere. So I recommend being very kind to yourself, speaking to yourself in a kind way, like you would to a friend or to a child, trusting yourself and in the process to go through, and mistakes will happen, stuff happens, but just getting back to your plan so that you can meet your goal in the end. Related to this is perseverance. Perseverance is key. If you make a mistake, if something doesn't quite go your way, if you eat something you didn't intend to, if you don't get your workout in, whatever the case may be, stuff happens, life happens. Weight loss is not necessarily just a linear journey from a decision to, oh, I'm gonna lose weight, and then just like a steady trajectory downwards. There's a lot more involved. There's emotions, there's, emotional eating, there's social situations, there's, a lot of other factors. And so if you can persevere and not see it as just like a black and white pass or fail kind of situation, and just see it as your progression and you're persevering through and you're doing the best you can. And if a mistake happens, you do your best to just move on from it and keep going and keep doing what you're doing to get where you want to go. Failing is really part of the process, I would argue. And I would also say that a fail is not necessarily a fail. If you make a mistake, I call that a mistake that you can learn from. It's an error, it's maybe, something that you need to work through, or maybe just, a simple decision that you didn't make the decision you wanted to make in that moment. And it's something to just consider and move forward with and make a better choice the next time. Next is comparison. So comparison can be very helpful when you are comparing you to you. I have found it very helpful to take progress photos and to weigh myself and measure myself and compare my progress to myself, right? Just evaluate and measure my progression through my weight loss and my health journey, and taking note of how I'm feeling and how is my energy and how am I sleeping and all of these factors. When you start to compare yourself to others, that is where there starts to become issues and problems. I think it's great to draw inspiration from other people and be encouraged by others and to see that, other people have lost weight and been successful and I can do it too, and that kind of thing. But when that comparison starts to creep in of, oh, they've lost more weight than me, or they lost weight faster than me, or whatever the case may be, they look a certain way and I don't look a certain way. That comparison is very detrimental and not helpful in your weight loss journey at all. You don't know where that person came from, where they started. They're not you. They're not living your life. They're not your age, your height, your weight. You don't know what their starting weight was. You don't know if they, had an eating disorder, or if they were obese or overweight, or what happened. There are a lot of different factors, and to compare yourself to somebody else is really not helpful in the long run. So focus on yourself, focus on comparing you to you, and that is a great way to measure your progress and measure your success. That being said, if you're comparing yourself to yourself and you start maybe gaining some weight or something's not going quite the way you anticipated, I would encourage you to refer back to my previous points about being kind to yourself and persevering and sticking with it. If you haven't gotten to where you want to be, you're just not there yet. You're just not done yet. You got to keep going. Do what works for you. Some people swear by calorie counting, macro tracking, weighing and measuring food, and being very conscientious in that kind of a way. And that works for some people, and that's great. And I think if that works for you, then go for it. You should do that. However, in my experience, that has not worked for me. Whenever I do try to do those things, I get so wrapped up in it and so overly analytical, and I try to be either really, really precise with it, or it ends up just, I'm not even doing it properly because I'm not comfortable with it, and it's just not a good fit for me. It wasn't a good way for me to try to lose weight. So what worked for me was focusing on real food, focusing on real whole food plant-based foods, focusing on food as fuel and nourishment, dividing my plate up in a certain way that I can lose weight and maintain it. I did a 50-50 plate for a while, and I do tend to continue with that for most of my meals. So what I mean by that is I eat half of my plate as a green vegetable or multiple green vegetables, and the other half of my plate is either starchy vegetables, whole grains, beans. Some people are into intuitive eating and have other methods. I would say I'm an educated and mindful eater. I'm knowledgeable about food and nutrition. I focus mostly on whole foods. I eat a fully plant-based diet, and that is what has worked for me, and that's what I continue to do, and that's what I teach when I'm coaching. So it can take a little bit of trial and error to find out what works for you and what kind of weight loss and health goals you have. So do what works for you. For some people, that's going to look like, calorie tracking and weighing and measuring everything. For some people, that's going to be a plate method, similar to what I have done with just sort of separating the plate out into the different portions. And other people might have other methods in terms of intuitive eating, or simply cutting out processed foods, or other ways of getting around it. Keep learning. So whether that is externally and learning about nutrition and fueling your body, or whether that's internally and learning more about yourself and what works for you and how you can best serve yourself to meet your goals in terms of your health and your weight loss. That's it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe below if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Check me out on social media at PlantFitMeg on Instagram and on Facebook. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I always read and respond to every comment, and I really appreciate having great conversations with you guys in the comments. I hope you have a great day. I'm wishing you the best in your weight loss journey and in your healthy wellness adventure. Have fun, be kind to yourself, and take it one day at a time, one meal at a time. You got this. Stick with it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.